All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a novel that's become a huge word-of-mouth sensation.
But first, let me ask you something. When was the last time a letter, an actual physical letter, changed your life? See, this story is all about the power of the written word to connect us, to reveal who we are, and sometimes to completely unravel us.
So, what's the deal? Why is absolutely everyone talking about The Correspondent by Virginia Evans? It's one of those books that just seems to have captured the hearts of, well, everyone.
I mean, people are calling this a genuine literary phenomenon. It's a New York Times bestseller that reminds us of a slower, maybe more thoughtful way of connecting. Even authors like Ann Patchett have praised it, calling it a cause for celebration.
And, in a media world that's so often dominated by loud, splashy marketing, the Wall Street Journal really hit the nail on the head. They called it the breakout novel no one saw coming.
And it's not just the critics, right? The readers are absolutely loving it. On Goodreads alone, you're looking at over 82,000 ratings, and the average? A whopping 4.6 stars. Now that tells you this book is making a real connection with people.
And yeah, beyond those fantastic reader reviews, the book is just racking up some serious critical acclaim. It's landing on all the best of lists and getting nominations for some really prestigious awards.
But really, what's at the heart of all this buzz? Well, it all comes down to one unforgettable character. So, let's go ahead and meet her. This is Sybil Van Antwerp. She's lived this incredibly full life, a mother, a grandmother, a respected lawyer. But the way she's processed it all, the way she's made sense of everything, is through something that feels kind of old-fashioned today, writing letters. Most mornings, you'll find her sitting down to write, and she writes to everyone. Her correspondence range from her brother, who's also her best friend, to famous authors whose new book she just has to critique. But then, there's this one person she writes to often, yet those letters, they never get sent.
And this habit, this quote, really gets to the heart of how she sees the world. It's this idea that every single letter, whether you send it or not, is like a little piece of the puzzle of your life, preserving your story in a real, tangible way.
So Sybil's got her routine, right? Her world is this carefully ordered, documented place, all understood through her daily correspondence. It's predictable, it's safe.
But what happens when the past writes back? I mean, that's the one thing she never planned for. And this very question, well, it's what kicks the entire story into high gear.
Suddenly, her whole carefully built world just gets turned upside down. She starts getting these unexpected letters from someone from way back, and it forces her to look at a part of her history she thought was buried for good. And she figures out pretty fast that she can't move forward, not really, without offering forgiveness. And to do that, the one letter she's been writing for years, the one that's just been sitting there, unsent, it has to finally be dealt with. So as you can see, this very personal story starts to build into something much, much bigger. It touches on these universal themes that honestly probably resonate with all of us.
One of the biggest themes is this incredible contrast, between the person we were when we were young, so sure of everything, making all those mistakes, and the person we become, with the wisdom and clarity that only come from a life fully lived.
When you boil it all down, this is a story about that universal search for connection and for peace. It's about the transformative power of words, the beauty of just slowing down, and maybe most of all, the deep and sometimes really tough importance of forgiveness.
And all of this leads us to a final thought, a more personal reflection that's really inspired by Sybil's whole journey.
It's a really thought-provoking question to leave you with, and it's right there at the heart of this beautiful novel. What story do your own letters, the ones you've sent, and maybe more importantly, the ones you haven't, tell about you?
Look, if you want to dive in and discover Sybil Van Antwerp's incredible story for yourself, we've got you covered. The link to this book is right there in the video description.